recording and we will get started. Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Global Studies in Education, EdM, and Graduate Certificates Information Session. I am Travis Giffen, the Assistant Director of Online Programs here in the College of Education. I'm joined by a few others from the university here, and we will get to that shortly. While you are all here, just a quick heads up, your audio and video have been muted. You can do have the ability to mute and unmute yourself, but we ask that you keep your microphone muted until we get to the Q&A portion. If you have questions throughout the presentation, feel free to type them in the chat and we can answer those as we go, but we might also save some of those for the end so that they're on the recording for everybody also. So while we are getting started, I have a quick poll and also some questions here to ask everybody who has joined us today in the chat. What are you interested in learning about this evening? Let us know. What is your interest in global studies in education? We'd love to hear what you are hoping to learn about today and hope we can get those questions answered. We will be focusing on the Masters of Education and Graduate Certificates today in Global Studies in Education. We were hoping to also be able to talk about international education administration and leadership, but unfortunately, Dr. Allison Witt is stuck in travels. So if you have questions specifically about that program, you can type them in the chat and we can get those answered, but we'd also be able to answer those questions if you reach out to us at the email address there at the bottom of this slide, onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. Also, if you have questions about the EDD program, we'd love to be able to answer those in a one-on-one discussion with you and get those questions answered. But for this evening, we will be talking about eligibility, program structure, admissions, and career paths for global studies in education. Some program staff that you might encounter. Some of us are here tonight. Others you might encounter if you reach out with questions, and definitely as you're a student throughout the program. We have Gina Poff, who is online academic and student services coordinator, here in the chat with us this evening. So if you were getting questions answered from Gina, she knows all the answers and she's a great person to know. Brianna Davis, our online student advisor for online programs, is not here with us this evening, but if you reach out to us by email, you will probably hear from Brianna pretty quickly afterwards. And as you are a student, she's also available to help you throughout your academic journey. We also have Sangeetha Kapala-Krishnan, the Assistant Dean for Online and Learning Innovations with online programs, here with us this evening. She'll be sharing a bit later. And Laura Ketchum is the assistant to EPOL. As you are a student, she is a great resource. And if you have questions to the department, she'll probably be the one to help you out. With that, I am going to turn things over to Dr. Hyun, who is here with us this evening from Global Studies in Education, to share a little bit about faculty and the program.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Hyun Kang, an associate professor and program coordinator of Global Studies in Education. So I'd like to take a few minutes to introduce my area faculty colleagues to you all. So Dr. Allison Witt, who's also serving as Director of International Programs in the College of Education, as well as a faculty member in the program Global Studies in Education. And we have Dr. Liv Davila, who's serving as the co-director of graduate studies in the Department of Education Policy and Organization and Leadership. Well, some of you might notice I use different terms. I mean, I was very confused myself. Let me clarify things. So we all, Global Studies in Education belongs to the Department of Education, Policy, and Organization, one of the 4 departments in the college. So within that department, GSE, Global Studies in Education, is one of the 9 concentration areas. Okay, so here is a group of us, faculty members, teaching, mentoring students in the program of Global Studies in Education. that is within the Department of EPOL, Education Policy, Organization, and Leadership. Just to clarify, so I introduced Dr. Witt and Dr. Davila, and then the next faculty colleague I'd like to introduce to you all is Dr. Linda Herrera, whose areas of expertise is youth education, K through 12 education in Egypt, North Africa, among other areas. And then the next faculty colleague, Dr. Sen Lindgren, whose area of expertise includes sustainability and STEM education in relation to globalization and internationalization. And then Dr. Cameron McCarthy, who has been one of the founding members of the program, whose area includes theoretical approaches to globalization, such as post-colonialism in the global South areas. And then last, not least, Dr. Rebecca Heinz-Pfeiffer, who is taking macro level policy approaches to the phenomenon globalization in education. Okay. So to introduce some of the topics we do in the program. So we as a group of scholars or researchers are all interested in the impact of globalization on education that entails policy, pedagogy, and micro-level classroom practices. So some of the topics we touch upon in classes or in mentoring sessions include human rights in education from a global perspective, and children and youth education in different instructional or informal contexts around the world. And climate change, sustainability is one of the topics we study, we explore collaboratively, and also internationalization, the processes of internationalization of K through 12 schools and higher education. We also study global migration, transnational immigration and mobility issues, and the impact of mobility on education and learning practices. Okay, and also like a digital transformation in relation to technology advancements around the world is one of the topics we study together. So as you can tell, the program and the area faculty take an interdisciplinary approach to an increasingly complex phenomenon of globalization in the context of education in a broad sense. Okay. So a little bit about our course structure. So most of our classes, I would say all classes in the online program are 8 weeks long. So not only during the regular academic year, but also in summer sessions, students are given opportunities to take classes. So summer courses are usually 4 weeks, actually 6 weeks or 8 weeks long. So each course carries 4 credit hours. Okay, so we have like different organizations such that during the academic year, like each semester will have a term A and term B, 8 weeks long for each. In summer, we have summer 1 and 2 as well. So like a different like descriptors of like a different components, something students might need to get acclimated. Okay, and what's more, all classes have expectations for weekly synchronous classroom class meetings through which students get to interact with the professors and also with other fellow students. We have a strong belief that classroom interaction mediated through technology is related to the best learning outcomes for all of us. Okay, so since today's focus goes to the Master of Education program, so I'd like to walk you through some of the information, some of the like the features of our program. So unlike Master of Art, the Master of Education program has no expectations, no requirement for a thesis. So any EdM or Master of Education has expectations for coursework alone. So 32 credit hours at minimum, which means, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, one course carries 4 credit hours. So it means 4 credit hour courses are expected for this degree program. So like the list of requirements required and also electives is available in our website. So different classes have a different FOSI, but some of them like a touch upon, policy issues, classroom interactions, pedagogy in different learning contexts that entail K through 12, higher education, and even online learning environments. Okay, so here's a like a list of additional expectations for the EdM program. So 12 hours, credit hours of coursework, which means 3 4 credit courses should be derived from 500 level courses in the program. And what's more, we have expectations such that students are required to complete their coursework, to complete their degree program within 5 years of first registering as a student in the program. Something to keep in mind. I have a good feeling some of you guys might wonder, what's next upon graduation. So our graduates pursue a range of career opportunities, not only in the US, but also around the world. So here are a few kind of sampling representative job titles I'd like to share you guys, So ranging from international program coordinator in an organization, in a school, in a university, for instance, or global education program manager. Some graduates pursue opportunities with respect to curriculum development and design focused on international and global education. Or some graduates, love to interact with or make an impact on students, their lives. So serving as international student advisor, not only in colleges, universities, but also in secondary schools, sometimes, private boarding schools in different parts of the country, as well as in international schools around the world. So here are a few more job titles we'd like to share with you guys. But once again, really a diversity of opportunities out there. So we are here to to be the consultants. If you have any questions about career opportunities.
Thank you, Han. Thank you, Dr. Hun. And next up, we have Dr. Gopala Christian, who's going to share with everyone a bit about graduate certificates.
Thank you, Travis. Can you hear me fine?
Yep, can hear you just great.
Thanks. So I am Sangeeta Gopalakrishnan. I head online programs for the College of Education. I'm really glad that you're here at this session. I wanted to give you some ideas about other types of educational opportunities as well. So we heard from Dr. Kang about the online master's program. I also wanted to tell you that we have graduate certificates here at the College of Education. And you may wonder, why would I complete a graduate certificate? So one idea is a graduate certificate offers a pathway to a degree program. So what is meant by that is that all our graduate certificates are comprised of 2 to 5 graduate level courses. So if you complete a graduate certificate and you earn graduate credits, you can apply those credits towards a degree program. So that is one reason why you would consider entering or completing a graduate certificate. It could also be that you're not ready to embark on a degree program right now. So you may want to start with a graduate certificate and sort of ease your way into a degree program. That's another way of looking at it. Also, you may already have a master's degree or a doctoral degree already. I saw from the poll that some of you already have a master's and doctoral programs. Doctoral degree, sorry. So you could consider earning an additional credential in an area of study, something complementary to your degree program. So the idea is that these additional credentials will enhance your marketability in terms of the job market. Next slide, please. So we do have graduate certificates in global education. So those are the global studies in education, international education administration, and leadership. So we have more details. So these are, we have more details on our website, and you can review look at these offerings in greater detail. Next slide. So we've been talking this up. This is a new graduate certificate that we're launching in fall 2023. It's the Cancer Education and Management in Underrepresented and Diverse Communities. So if you should be interested in an additional credential in this area, you can look at the website for more information. So I guess this is back to you, Travis.
Yes, this is me. So for those of you that may have questions about the EdM admissions, all admissions are handled through the Graduate College. The Graduate College handles all of the application processes. You can see the link down there at choose.illinois.edu/apply in order to start your application for the EdM program. They give you some insight about how that process works. The department, so Global Studies and Education, would make a decision on the application and then submit that to the Graduate College that would approve that decision based on campus requirements and then process the admission and your admission into the program. So first the department takes a look at the applications and then the Graduate College approves the department's decision in order to admit you into the program. We have up here next, as you can see here, deadlines for the admissions process. So here we have 6 different deadlines for the EdM program throughout the year. As you can see, we do this in order to make sure that it's not too far away for anyone at any point in time in order to be able to start the program of their interest. Following each of these deadlines, about a week or so after, you should be able to hear back on your admission if you have been accepted into the program. Our next deadline coming up is April 15th for summer term A. We hope to see some applications from many of you here with us today. for those that are interested in getting started for summer term. And again, you can apply online at choose.illinois.edu/apply. For questions about tuition and student financial aid, we always encourage everybody to fill out the FAFSA to make sure that you are getting the federal financial aid opportunities that are available to you. Tuition is $500 per credit hour right now, but that is subject to change. It could be going up at any point in time. So if you are interested in locking in at that $500 per credit for your first courses, you want to be sure to apply for the summer term that is coming up here soon. For those questions about student status, with our classes being 4 credit hours apiece instead of the traditional or more traditional 3, full-time status would be 2 classes in order to get you over that 6 credit hour hump per se per semester. So as Dr. Kang was talking about earlier, many students take one course in part of term A and another course in part of term B. With both courses being 4 credit hours apiece, that would put you at 8 credit hours for the semester, which would get you over that 6 credit hour hurdle in order to be considered full-time for financial aid. Full-time purposes for all other purposes is 12 credit hours, so that would be 3 classes. If you were to take maybe 2 in part of term A and 1 in part of term B, for example. Questions about financial aid, we encourage you to reach out to the financial aid office directly at 217-333-0100 or finaid@illinois.edu for any questions that you might have related to financial aid. Again, if you're interested in applying, you can apply now at choose.illinois.edu/apply. With that, I'm going to hand things back to Sangeeta.
All right, so we're approaching the end of our presentation, and you may still be wondering, why would you choose education at Illinois? So I wanted to give you some final thoughts so you can think about them. So you would choose us because we are a top-tier research university. We've been ranked number 3 for 3 consecutive years by US News and World Report for our online Masters in Education programs. And our ranking is based on our quality and affordability. So in terms of quality, you will be taught by world-class faculty. We focus on online student engagement. And not only will you be taught by world-class faculty, you'll also be learning with peers who really have very rich and diverse backgrounds. Most of our students, our online students, work full-time, have been in the workforce for a while, and so they have a lot of rich work experiences that you will also benefit from in class. As a top-tier research university, we have extensive resources for students, and as online students, you will have access to these resources. For example, our library system is one of the best in the country, and you can take advantage of that. Next slide, please. Oh, and if you want to know more about our ranking, here's a story with a link, and you can read more about that. And so we hope you're going to apply right away or in the next few days. And I think Travis is going to lead us into the Q&A right now.
Yeah, thank you so much. So with that, we have plenty of time for questions. Please feel free to type them in the chat or use the raise your hand function here in Zoom in order to ask us a question. We'd be happy to call on you and get that question answered. We have plenty of time here to answer questions about the EdM program or the graduate certificates in global studies and education.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I got a question sent to me in the chat. Sangeeta, I think maybe you might be the best one to answer this one. Could you elaborate on stacking, on how stacking works with certificates?
Right. So stacking is just a way of saying you can apply the certificates, the graduate credits you earn from a graduate certificate into a degree program. So for example, let's say you complete a graduate certificate and earn 12 credit hours. So you can apply those 12 credit hours into a degree program. So our online master's program, for example, has 32 credits. So you can take the 12 credits you earn from a graduate certificate and apply it towards a degree program. You would still have to be admitted to the degree program, and there will be a review of these credits to make sure they align with the degree program that you want to apply them towards. So the question is, can I choose course as elective from another degree program? I'm not, Gina, Paf, I see you nodding. Do you want to take that?
You can choose electives from other concentrations within the College of Education online programs. If you want to go outside of the College of Education or take electives from outside the College of Education online degree program, then you have to have approval from the course instructor. Also, your advisor has to approve electives that you take to make sure that they fit into your program correctly.
So it looks like we just got a question here about the application process for international students. Previous education, do they need in order to apply for the program? I think I can answer this one, Gina, and feel free to jump in and fill in any gaps that maybe I missed. So for the master's program, you need a bachelor's degree, I believe 3.0 or the equivalent in your education system, depending on where you're at around the world for the application process. If you haven't received a degree from a US university or college in the last 5 years, then you would need to take the TOEFL. We have a question here that I think Dr. King, you might be able to best answer. Somebody is considering a master's in higher ed versus global studies and education. What are maybe some things that they should consider? And then are they able to apply for both, or how does that work?
That is a great question. So you might consider indicating your interest in both in the statement of purpose. That way, the faculty members in both programs, could be alerted to review your application. Okay. I see your point. There might be some overlap between higher education and global studies in education. However, GSE, global studies in education, might have more focus, on the internationalization processes of higher education. And what's more, we, study, explore higher education institutions and processes outside of the US, as well as within the US. If you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to me or to some other faculty members in GSE.
Can I jump in here? So in addition to what Hyun mentioned, going back to the question, Jasmine's question. Another way also to look at it is if they picked, so I want to be sure, two points. One, I wanted to be sure that Jasmine saw Gina's comment that the master's is only offered on campus, whereas the global studies master's is offered online. So that's one consideration. The other consideration, if Jasmine were to pick, let's say hypothetically you picked higher ed, you could still consider earning a concentration, adding a second concentration in GSE and a graduate certificate in GSE. Are those not options as well, Hyun and Gina?
So for the master's program, like students do not stay on campus or in the program that long, not long enough to add on another concentration. My observation is that they, kind of rush to finish the coursework. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Sorry. Yeah, perhaps Gina can help us out more with more information.
So my understanding is that most of the higher education courses are not offered in an online format since they are offered to students enrolled in the on-campus program. So unless they would fulfill your elective requirements as approved by your advisor, and you can find courses that are offered in an online format, then that's what it would depend on.
Okay. And I would also suggest that Jasmine could also set up an appointment and have a chat with our online student advisor, Brianna Davis, and or Gina Path, if you want to explore these options some more. So that's an option. I saw Pedro's question about TOEFL. So is this where we say the 5-year limit for the TOEFL? So they've taken a so if it's, I will leave it to Gina before I.
I was just responding in the chat to this. So there is a link that I put below that addresses the English proficiency requirements for graduate admissions. And on that link, there's a list of exemptions. And if you meet one of the exemptions listed, then you would not be required to provide English proficiency test results. But if you don't meet one of the exemptions, then you would be required to take an English proficiency test and provide the results.
Thank you, everyone, for all the questions so far. I see we've had a few folks already take off. So I want to get some feedback before anybody else, if they have to go anything else, to let us know how things went this evening. But we still have plenty of time for questions. So if you still have questions, we can get those answered. All right, I'll do another last call for questions from those of us in the chat. For those watching the recording back afterwards, if you have questions, you can reach us at onlineprograms@education.illinois.edu. We'd be happy to get those questions answered for you. Anything that you might have, please feel free to reach out to us so that we can answer those for you. All right, seems like we've gotten all the questions answered this evening. Thank you for everyone from Online Programs and the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign for joining us this evening. Thanks to all of the prospects that have joined us. We hope to see your applications for programs soon. And please be sure to reach out to us with any questions that we didn't get answered, or if you think of anything later, we'd be happy to get those questions answered to you. Have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, Travis and Gina.